6,000 years ago, something strange started happening across Earth. In different parts of the world, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, large civilizations began to rise, seemingly out of nowhere. These weren't just small villages. They had writing cities, farming, astronomy, and architecture. But here's the real mystery. Why did all of this advanced knowledge suddenly appear after thousands of years of simple, tribal life? Scientists and researchers have tried to explain it, but some clues just don't fit the usual timeline. One of the biggest turning points may have happened much earlier, around 12,800 years ago, during a massive global disaster known as the Younger Dryas event. Some experts believe it was caused by a comet that exploded in Earth's atmosphere. This comet would have triggered huge wildfires, sudden climate change, and wiped out large parts of the planet's population. What's truly puzzling is what came after. Suddenly, advanced stonework, star maps, and complex symbols started showing up all over the world. From Turkey to the Amazon, signs of lost knowledge began to appear, almost like someone had pressed a restart button on civilization. Could this be the first evidence of a forgotten chapter in human history? Maybe this is just the beginning of something much bigger. The Younger Dryas event around 12,800 years ago, Earth faced a disaster so massive that it changed everything. Scientists call it the Younger Dryas event, a sudden return to Ice Age conditions. But what caused it? In 2024, a study confirmed a shocking theory. A comet, possibly 100 kilometers wide, exploded in Earth's atmosphere. The result? A continent-wide airburst that caused wildfires, global cooling, and mass extinction. The evidence is strong. Researchers found melted glass, platinum, and shocked quartz, materials that form only under extreme heat and pressure, like those from a nuclear explosion. These were discovered across North America, proving the damage was global, not local. But it wasn't just the land that suffered. The skies darkened, temperatures dropped, and over 35 types of animals went extinct. This sudden climate shift, called the Younger Dryas, plunged Earth into a 200-year-long deep freeze. Now here's the twist. Right after this event, advanced civilizations and knowledge began to appear across the planet, like someone had survived and started over. Could the Younger Dryas have wiped out a highly advanced Ice Age civilization? And are we just now finding the clues they left behind? This cataclysm wasn't the end of the story. It may have been the beginning of one of the greatest mysteries in human history. Civilization after catastrophe. After the chaos of the Younger Dryas, something strange happened. As Earth slowly warmed and the ice melted, signs of civilization began to rise, fast. Around 9600 BCE, right when the climate stabilized, we see the sudden appearance of advanced architecture, planning, and symbols in places where only small hunter-gatherer groups were thought to exist. Take Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, built shortly after the catastrophe. It's a massive stone temple complex with 20-ton pillars carved with animals and celestial symbols. Yet the people who built it had no cities, no agriculture, and no metal tools. Or so we thought. How did they move such heavy stones? Who taught them to align structures with the stars? It wasn't just in Turkey. In the Amazon, huge cities hidden beneath thick jungle were discovered using lidar. In Ecuador, two 500-year-old urban centers with complex roads and farming systems were found. All of them showed high-level engineering and design. What's strange is how this advanced knowledge showed up around the same time across the world. Egypt, Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley, all rising together as if guided by the same blueprint. Could it be that survivors of a lost civilization carried their knowledge across the globe? Was this the real restart of humanity, one built from the ashes of a forgotten age? AI uncovers hidden symbols. In recent years, artificial intelligence has become a powerful tool in archaeology. In 2023, DeepMind's advanced pattern recognition systems began scanning ancient symbols from around the world. What they found shocked researchers. Hidden connections between civilizations that were never supposed to have met. Symbols from Anatolia, South America, and even Asia shared complex mathematical patterns. These weren't simple drawings. They followed precise geometry, and in some cases, mirrored modern coding logic. AI revealed that the same knowledge may have been taught globally long before ships, phones, or even writing systems existed. How could that happen unless there was a common source? These weren't random scratches in stone. They were messages, blueprints passed down, preserved, and shared. Many believe this supports Graham Hancock's theory of a lost civilization that once spread advanced knowledge across the planet. Without AI, these connections remained hidden for thousands of years. But today's technology is finally giving us the tools to decode the past, and it's rewriting everything we thought we knew. If ancient cultures across oceans carved the same knowledge into stone, maybe they weren't separated. Maybe they were students of the same forgotten teachers. LiDAR finds Amazon cities. For centuries, the Amazon rainforest was thought to be untouched wilderness. But that idea is changing fast, thanks to modern LiDAR technology. In 2022, researchers flying over the Bolivian Amazon made a stunning discovery: massive lost cities hidden beneath the jungle canopy. LiDAR works by firing laser pulses from aircraft to strip away vegetation digitally. What it revealed shocked archaeologists. Beneath the trees were huge urban centers, complete with platforms, canals, reservoirs, and even pyramids, all part of the advanced Kasserab culture, which thrived between 500 and 400 CE. These weren't small tribal camps. The layout showed careful planning, with roadways and water systems stretching for miles. Cities were connected by perfectly straight causeways, some over 600 meters long. The Amazon, once thought too harsh for complex societies, now appears to have been home to thriving civilizations. Even more surprising, the cities in Ecuador's Apano Valley, dated to 500 years ago, showed over 6 silos and platforms, all arranged in geometric patterns with roads linking 15 urban centers. What else lies hidden under the jungle? With only a small portion of the region scanned so far, many believe we've only scratched the surface of a much larger ancient network, one that could rewrite the history of the Americas. Massive cities in the jungle. What if the Amazon rainforest wasn't always just trees and wildlife? New discoveries suggest that this vast region once held massive ancient cities, far more advanced than anyone expected. Using LiDAR, scientists uncovered huge urban settlements buried beneath the jungle, complete with pyramids, roads, canals, and water systems. In Bolivia, these cities were built by the Kasserab culture over 1,000 years ago. The scale is mind-blowing. Some cities had monumental structures just a mile apart, linked by straight, elevated causeways. Others featured complex water management systems designed to survive seasonal flooding. Proof of intelligent engineering. Even more surprising is what was found in Ecuador's Apano Valley. There, researchers uncovered an urban network over 500 years old, made up of more than 6,000 earthen platforms. These were laid out in precise geometric patterns, with organized roadways, farmland, and central plazas, suggesting a society with detailed planning and strong leadership. This wasn't scattered village life. These were real cities, hidden in plain sight for thousands of years, and their sudden appearance, just like other ancient civilizations worldwide, raises a question: did they all emerge on their own? Or were they part of something larger, a global spark of knowledge after a forgotten age? Ecuador's lost civilization. Deep in the Apano Valley of eastern Ecuador, researchers have uncovered one of the most remarkable archaeological discoveries in Amazonian history, a 500-year-old civilization hidden beneath the jungle. This wasn't just a simple settlement. It was a massive urban network spread across miles of rainforest and built with advanced planning. More than 6,000 earthen platforms were found, arranged in precise geometric patterns. These platforms connected 15 distinct urban centers, linked by an extensive system of roads, farmland, canals, and plazas. Some roads extended for kilometers in straight lines, a feat of engineering not expected from such an ancient culture. The people who built this weren't primitive jungle dwellers. They were skilled planners and builders who transformed a wild, flood-prone environment into a productive, organized landscape of cities. This discovery, confirmed using LiDAR scans, challenges everything we thought we knew about Amazonian history. It suggests that the rainforest once supported large, complex civilizations long before the arrival of Europeans. Even more curious is the timing. These sophisticated societies seem to appear suddenly, echoing patterns seen across the world. Just like Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Mesoamerica, Ecuador's lost civilization hints at a bigger truth. May have helped ignite humanity's rise after a forgotten global disaster. Secrets beneath Antarctica. While jungles reveal lost cities, Antarctica may hold even deeper secrets, buried beneath miles of ice. One of the most mysterious findings is the Wilkes land gravity anomaly, a massive 500-kilometer wide structure beneath the ice, first detected by NASA's satellites. This strange underground mass creates a gravitational pull strong enough to warp Earth's gravity field. But that's not all. Thermal imaging has revealed unusual warm spots beneath Antarctica's frozen surface. Some of these hotspots form geometric patterns, straight lines, and symmetrical shapes that don't match any natural formations. These patterns suggest something artificial might be hiding below. Geologists disagree on what it is. Some say it's the result of an ancient asteroid impact. Others propose something more radical, that the anomaly could be the remains of a lost civilization, preserved under ice since the last ice age. And here's the wild part: ice core samples confirm Antarctica wasn't always frozen. Around 15,000 years ago, right before the Younger Dryas catastrophe, parts of Antarctica may have been ice-free and habitable. If an advanced civilization once lived there, the ice could have preserved their buildings, unlike other ancient coastal sites now lost to rising seas. Antarctica might hold the most intact record of a forgotten chapter in human history. The only question is, how long until we dig deep enough to find it? Structures under the ice. Could there be man-made structures hidden beneath Antarctica's ice? Some scientists think the answer might be yes. Using satellite scans and thermal imaging, researchers have found strange geometric shapes and unnatural heat patterns deep under the frozen continent. These shapes include straight lines, right angles, and even symmetrical formations, all highly unusual for natural geology. The biggest mystery is the Wilkes land gravity anomaly, a massive underground mass stretching over 500 kilometers wide. Discovered by NASA's GRACE satellites, this structure pulls so strongly on Earth's gravity field that it creates a measurable warp. While some experts say it could be from an asteroid impact, others believe it may be something artificial, like the ruins of an ancient civilization buried for millennia. We know from ice core data that parts of Antarctica were once ice-free, especially around 15,000 years ago, just before the Younger Dryas Comet event. If people lived there then, their cities wouldn't have eroded or sunk like those on other continents. Instead, they could be perfectly preserved, flash frozen beneath the ice. Unlike lost coastal settlements swallowed by the sea, Antarctica may hold entire cities, untouched and waiting to be rediscovered. Are we looking at the cold, silent tomb of a forgotten world, or the greatest archaeological discovery still buried under our feet? Göbekli Tepe, a restart. In southeastern Turkey lies one of the most mysterious sites on Earth, Göbekli Tepe. Built around 9600 BCE, right after the Younger Dryas catastrophe, this ancient temple complex doesn't fit the traditional timeline of history. According to mainstream archaeology, it was built by hunter-gatherers, people with no farming, no cities, and no reason to build massive stone structures. Yet they somehow quarried, carved, and raised 20-ton pillars with intricate carvings and astronomical alignments. The site features T-shaped megaliths arranged in stone circles with carvings of animals and celestial symbols. Even more amazing, only 5% of the site has been excavated and ground-penetrating radar shows many more structures still buried beneath. Here's the twist. Göbekli Tepe was deliberately buried around 8000 BCE. It wasn't abandoned, it was sealed, almost like a time capsule. But why would primitive people build something so grand, then hide it? Author Graham Hancock suggests that Göbekli Tepe wasn't the start of civilization, but the restart. built by survivors of a lost Ice Age culture trying to preserve knowledge after the global disaster. It may be the first clue that advanced societies existed long before what we call history began. Was Göbekli Tepe built by forgotten hands from a fallen world, one we're only just starting to remember? Sudden global knowledge after the Younger Dryas catastrophe. Something remarkable happened. Advanced knowledge appeared almost overnight across distant parts of the world. Civilizations that were never in contact began building pyramids, developing astronomy, and using complex math. The suddenness of this change is too strange to ignore. In Egypt, massive stone pyramids rose with precise alignments to stars. In Mesopotamia, people built towering ziggurats. In Mesoamerica, step pyramids appeared in jungle cities. Despite being separated by oceans and time, these structures shared mathematical ratios, sacred geometry, and celestial orientation. How is that possible? Many researchers believe this can't be coincidence. According to Graham Hancock, these early civilizations weren't inventing knowledge from scratch. They were inheriting it, possibly from survivors of a forgotten, advanced Ice Age civilization. These teachers may have traveled across the globe, guiding early cultures with the tools to rebuild. The result, a wave of similar technologies and beliefs showing up in disconnected regions within a few thousand years. Why do creation myths from so many cultures speak of gods or wise beings who came from across the sea after a great flood? Maybe they weren't just stories. Maybe they were memories. Memories of those who came before us, carrying light into a darkened world. Pyramids across the world, from Egypt to Mexico, from Mesopotamia to China, pyramids appear across the ancient world. And that's not just a coincidence. These massive stone structures, often aligned with the stars, were built by civilizations that had no known contact with each other. Yet they share striking similarities in design, purpose, and mathematical precision. In Giza, the Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly to the cardinal points and reflects the stars of Orion's belt. Thousands of miles away, the Maya and Aztecs built stepped pyramids in perfect geometric patterns, often linked to astronomical events like equinoxes and solstices. In Mesopotamia, ziggurats rose toward the sky, serving as temples and celestial markers. All of these appeared after the Younger Dryas, within just a few thousand years of each other. Traditional history says they were developed independently. But how did so many ancient cultures, separated by oceans, all suddenly start building pyramids using advanced mathematics and cosmic alignments? Some believe this is proof of a shared origin, that survivors of a lost Ice Age civilization spread knowledge across the globe, teaching early humans how to build, observe the heavens, and track time. These pyramids may not just be monuments to the past. They may be clues, pointing to a forgotten chapter of human history, one that's finally being uncovered, one pyramid at a time. The comet that changed Earth. Around 800 years ago, a comet tore through Earth's atmosphere, and nothing was ever the same again. Scientists call it the Younger Dryas impact, and new research confirms it was one of the most violent events in human history. In 2024, a study by UC Santa Barbara found physical evidence of this cosmic explosion: platinum, melted glass, and shock fractured quartz, materials that only form under extreme heat and pressure, similar to a nuclear detonation. The comet didn't just hit in one place. It broke apart in the sky, raining down firestorms across the northern hemisphere, igniting forests and turning day into night. This global cataclysm caused temperatures to plummet, triggering a 1-200-year ice age known as the Younger Dryas Cold Period. At least 35 animal species went extinct in North America alone. Entire ecosystems collapsed. Human populations were devastated. But this disaster may have done more than destroy. It may have reset civilization. Right after the impact, we see the sudden rise of monumental architecture, farming, astronomy, and writing, almost like someone remembered what was lost and began rebuilding. Some believe this event erased an earlier advanced society and pushed survivors to pass on what knowledge they could. It wasn't just a cosmic accident. It may have been the turning point the fire that ended one world and gave rise to ours. Evidence of fire from the sky, the idea of a cosmic disaster wiping out ancient civilizations, sounds like science fiction. But science now says it's fact. In 2024, researchers uncovered powerful evidence that around 12,800 years ago, a comet exploded in Earth's atmosphere, unleashing a wave of destruction across the northern hemisphere. What did they find? Tiny but unmistakable clues: platinum particles, melt glass, and shock, fractured quartz, all created under extreme conditions. These materials were scattered across multiple sites in North America and beyond. One sample revealed a web-like fracture pattern filled with molten glass, a sign of temperatures reaching over 2,000 degrees C. That's not something nature creates easily. In fact, the pattern closely matches what happens in above-ground nuclear explosions. This wasn't a single blast. As the comet shattered, it rained fire across continents. Forests burned, skies darkened, and a 200-year cold snap began. The Younger Dryas event wasn't just a climate shift. It was a planetary trauma. Imagine being there, watching the sky ignite, fleeing walls of fire, losing everything your people built. For survivors, it was the end of a world, but maybe not the end of knowledge. Some believe that scattered survivors held onto fragments of science, math, and astronomy, enough to rebuild. The fire from the sky may have destroyed a civilization, but also lit the spark that created the next. Underwater city ruins. If an advanced Ice Age civilization once existed, where are its cities? The answer may lie beneath the sea. After the Younger Dryas catastrophe, massive ice sheets melted, causing sea levels to rise over 120 meters. That's nearly 400 feet. Coastal lands where ancient people likely lived were swallowed by water, burying entire settlements beneath the ocean. One of the most compelling underwater sites is in India's Gulf of Cambodge, formerly Cambade. In the early 2000s, sonar scans revealed strange geometric patterns on the seafloor, straight lines, grids, and shapes resembling streets and foundations. When scientists dredged the area, they recovered stone tools, pottery, and even a piece of wood. Radiocarbon dating placed it at 7500 BCE. Thousands of years older than the Indus Valley civilization. Then there's the Yonaguni monument off the coast of Japan, a massive rock structure with terraces, steps, and sharp angles. Some geologists say it's natural, but others argue it has features too precise to be accidental, including what appear to be pillars, platforms, and roadways. These sites were above water during the last ice age and would have been prime locations for early cities. If confirmed, they would push the story of urban civilization back by thousands of years. What else lies beneath the waves? The sea may be hiding the true beginnings of human history, just waiting for us to look deeper. Sunken cities near India and Japan. Beneath the waves off the coasts of India and Japan, two mysterious underwater sites are challenging everything we thought we knew about ancient history. In India's Gulf of Cambodge, sonar scans in the early 2000s revealed geometric patterns 30 to 40 meters below the surface, including grids, straight paths, and rectangular shapes. This was no natural seafloor. When researchers pulled up artifacts, they found stone tools, ceramics, and a piece of wood dated to 7500 BCE. That's over 9,000 years old, far older than India's traditional first civilization, the Indus Valley. Across the ocean in Japan, the Yonaguni monument lies submerged off the coast of Okinawa. This massive stone structure has flat platforms, stairs, and right angles, features that seem carved, not eroded. While some scientists say it's a natural formation, others point to what appear to be pillars, drainage channels, and even pathways. What links both sites is their timing. During the last ice age, these locations would have been dry land, perfect for early settlements. As the ice melted and seas rose, any cities built there would have been lost beneath the ocean. If these structures are man-made, they prove that humans were building complex monuments thousands of years earlier than mainstream archaeology allows. What other sunken cities wait to be discovered beneath the world's coastlines? Shared star knowledge across the ancient world, cultures separated by oceans and time shared one strange thing in common: an advanced understanding of the stars. From Egypt to Turkey, Cambodia to Mexico, ancient monuments show precise astronomical alignments that baffle modern historians. Take Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. One of its most famous carvings, known as the Vulture Stone, may be a celestial map. In 2017, researchers from the University of Edinburgh suggested it records a comet strike, possibly the same one that triggered the Younger Dryas 800 years ago. If true, that means the builders were recording an event thousands of years before their time. Then there's the Great Pyramid of Giza, aligned nearly perfectly to the cardinal directions and the Orion constellation. In Mexico, the ancient city of Teotihuacan mirrors the layout of the Milky Way, while Angkor Wat in Cambodia aligns with the solstices and planetary cycle. Even more incredible, these sites also show knowledge of precession, the slow wobble of Earth's axis that takes 26,000 years to complete. It's a pattern so subtle it would require centuries of observation to detect. How could isolated, primitive societies have known this? Maybe they didn't discover it themselves. Maybe they inherited it, knowledge passed down from a forgotten civilization that once watched the skies and left its wisdom written in stone. The DNA of lost people. What if the clues to a lost civilization weren't just in ancient ruins, but inside us? New genetic research has uncovered anomalies in human DNA that don't match any known migration patterns. Scientists call them ghost populations, groups of people who once lived, mixed with others, and then disappeared without a trace. One of the most mysterious examples involves Denisovan DNA. These early humans lived in Siberia and Tibet, but high levels of their DNA appear in people from Papua New Guinea and Australia, thousands of miles away. How did it get there? No known migration path explains it. In South America, especially the Andes, researchers found unique genetic markers that don't match any recognized human group. Strangely, these areas also saw the sudden appearance of advanced technologies, like precision weaving and astronomical tracking, with no clear origin. Some scientists believe this could be evidence of contact with a forgotten, highly skilled group, possibly survivors of the lost Ice Age civilization. These people may have shared their knowledge and genes before vanishing from history. If true, the fingerprints of this lost world are still inside us, not just in our myths or monuments, but in our blood. Every cell could carry the echo of a forgotten people, whispering the truth of a past we're only beginning to uncover. A global teaching network. How did ancient civilizations spread across continents develop such similar knowledge in astronomy, architecture, and mathematics, all within a few thousand years at each other? One theory gaining attention is that there was once a global network of teachers,